Hey y'all, you are tuned in to the Powerhouse Lash podcast. This podcast is my diary to the lash community where I share my highs, lows, lessons, and rants based on my lash journey. My heart is to share the reality of what it's really like to build a lash business, and I hope this episode helps you feel seen, validated, educated, humored, and makes your lash journey a little bit easier. I'm your host, T the Brand, and I'm glad that you're here. Now, let's get to it. Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Powerhouse Lash podcast. In this episode, I am going to be sharing some strategies, some tips that help me plan my month out for my money. I know with it being the new year, we all have different goals, different plans. We might be upping prices, we might be changing the course of business, whatever the case may be. We all have goals and something that we're striving for, and we all want to make money from what we do. So I am going to share with you guys how I plan realistically to how I do my income plans realistically. So, one thing that I saw another lash artist do was take like a big goal and then break it down. And of course, that made the most amount of sense. And that's kind of how I started doing my planning a couple of years ago. She was a lash artist, but she was a mentor to me at the time. So here's the thing: you can plan your goals however you want, whether it's for the year, for the quarter, for the month. I say do it all. That way you can really monitor and check what's working and adjust your strategy as you need to. But again, you have to have a strategy and a plan. So just quick little backstory. One thing about me, I am a really big dreamer and goal setter. And in 2021, before I had any real clientele base, I set a huge goal for the quarter to as an income goal, and it made no sense for that to have been my goal. Yeah, dream big, don't limit yourself, but be real, because it will save you a whole lot of disappointment. And that's exactly what I faced, a whole lot of disappointment, because I wasn't smart about the goal that I set. I didn't really take into account if I would even be able to reach the goal. So things that I consider when I am setting my financial goals is not just how much money I want to make, but also how many people do I plan on servicing, and do I have the time on my calendar to actually be able to service that many people to make whatever amount of money. Hey Heidi, to make whatever amount of money. Oh, you guys, I am recording for YouTube and on Instagram Live again so that I can interact with my Instagram community. Okay, so yeah, making sure that I actually have the time on my calendar to make the money that I'm planning and strategizing to make. So I'm gonna give you this really practical breakdown, and I hope that it helps you with your financial goal, income planning, and such, as it has helped me. So first things first, you want to set the goal. What do you want to make for the year, for the month, so on and so on. So I'm gonna go with a quarterly goal because I already have it written down from 2021. It's the breakdown that's important. Did I reach this goal? No, because again, I did not have the time to reach this goal, nor did I have the clientele base to reach this goal. So those are things to just consider when you are setting your goals. So for example, you can use whatever number that you want, and I say get you a pen and paper out so that you can write this formula down, and not forget it and be able to go back to it and reference it when it's time for you to set your goals. So say you set a goal for the quarter, you want to make $10,000. And just to clarify for anyone who may not know, a quarter is any set of 3 months in the year, or the from for example, January to March, that's the first quarter. So you're breaking the year into four, as you would break a dollar into four quarters. Yeah, so you have January, February, March, and then so on and so forth, 3 months at a time. Those are your quarters for the year. So say we have a goal of $10,000 to make in a quarter, to make over a course of 3 months. What you want to do is take that $10,000 and break it down by 3. That's how many months we have. So once you break that down, that'll give you $3,333. That's how much money you would need to make every month to reach the $10,000 mark. So after you get your monthly goal, then you're going to break that down by weeks. So of course you have to look at the actual month and see how many weeks are in the month. For the most part, there are 4 weeks in every month. Some months have 5 weeks, but you can go based off of I just always go with 4, depending on what I always go with 4 because that's the average of how many weeks are in a month. So after we break it down, 33.33 into 4 weeks, you get $833 a week. So now you see how that number is getting smaller. It makes it seem more achievable because it is. I mean, instead of trying to make 10K, you can just strive for 833 a week. And it just makes it a little easier. So after you get that weekly, you want to break it down into how many days out of the week you will work. So let's say we work in 5 days. So you break that 833 down by 5, which will give you 166. So now you know that in order to make $10,000 in a quarter, you need to make $166 a day. This also ties into service pricing. So let's just say if you're a beginner artist and you set this goal that we just used as an example for 10K a quarter, but you only charge $50 for a full set. There's no way in any day that you're going to make $166, even if you did 3 full sets. We're not counting tips in this. Tips are extra and we are very grateful and thankful for them, but tips are unpredictable and we can't put that in our math. So if you're charging $50 for a full set, then once you do 3 full sets, you only made $150 for the day, which means you'll come in short of the 166, which means you'll come in short of your goal of $10,000 for the month. So making sure that you're considering what your prices are like when you're setting your goals, that's a huge part. And it's always okay to go back in and adjust that bigger number, because as you grow, as you get faster, as you learn more, you'll be able to, set bigger goals and strive for bigger goals and have more realistic plans and strategies to be able to achieve those goals. Another thing that you want to consider when you're setting your goals for your coins are how many days are you actually going to be working out of the days that you in the month. How many days in the month are you actually going to be working? So say for example, in a month you want to make $6,000, right? So you'll break that $6,000 down by 4, which gives us $1,500. Okay, so we just need $1,500 a week. So you break that $1,500 down by 5 because we work 5 days a week. So now we just need to make $300 a day. That's easier than 6,000, looking at the big 6,000. But if I have a vacation planned, or if I have to be off a day because I'm going to the doctor, or anything that you have to close your schedule for, you're taking appointment times away and you're taking those days away. And realistically, making $1,500 that week is not going to happen because you didn't work 5 days to be able to make $300 over all those days. I hope that this is making sense. So 6,000 for the month, 1,500 for each week, which is 4 weeks in the month, and then $300 a day. But so say we get to $300 a day, and we cool with that. We can make $300 a day for the most part. So what you want to do is go back through your month, look at all the days that you will actually be working, and then multiply that number times 300, or that number times whatever you come down to your daily goal to be, and that's how much you'll be able to realistically make within the month. So say, okay, I can only work 10 days, and that's just an easy number for my math brain that is not great. So say I can only work 10 days in the month, right? So we're going to take that 300 and multiply that times 10. So that's 3,000. Now, if I can only work 10 days, why would I set the goal to be 6,000 if the max that I can literally make is only 3? So making sure that you consider all of these factors and all of these components when you're setting your goals, that'll help them to be more achievable. That'll help them to help you to set more realistic goals, and it'll help you achieve your goals faster. And you can really plan out your month and your days and all of the things that you need to. I'm not gonna drag this video out, or this episode out. So I do hope that this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, write them in the review section. If you're using Apple Music, if you're streaming through Apple Music, through Spotify, or through Google Podcasts, or if you're on the Anchor site, just drop questions in the, what's that thing called? I just said it, the little review box. And if you're on YouTube, of course, leave your questions, your comments in the comment section, and I'll be sure to respond to them to help however I can. Again, this strategy isn't like something solid goal, but it has helped me to really organize and really plan and strategize and achieve the goals that I've been setting for myself. So I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope it helps you in your last journey, in your whatever it is that you do, because everybody making money, okay? So yeah, I hope that it helps, and I will see y'all in the next one.